What is going on, Jets fans? It's your boy DT back with another breaking news video. Obviously, the trade deadline has gone and passed. Only Sauce Gardner and Quincy Williams were moved at the deadline, despite many other names linked to being potentially traded away from New York. One of those names is Quincy Williams, and now today his name is in the news for not so positive reasons. Rich Cimini of ESPN reporting the Jets' defensive shakeup continues. Former All-Pro linebacker Quincy Williams has lost his starting job, he told ESPN. Quote, "My coaches told me I was underperforming, that I've been underperforming since training camp," unquote, he told me. Williams said that he's, quote, "not thrilled with the decision, but he's also, quote, not mad because he hopes to win his job back." First and foremost, wow. Obviously, unexpected, right? Last week, or against Cincinnati, I should say, we saw Jamien Sherwood benched for the first quarter of that game for what we assume are disciplinary reasons, not performative reasons. Although you can make a case that performative reasons should be why Sherwood is shown the bench as well. But Quincy Williams coming back from injury, first and foremost, he hasn't played a ton this year. He got hurt, I believe that was the Tampa Bay game. So week 3, he got hurt right before halftime, and he hasn't been back since that Bengals game week and a half ago. So he's only played in 3.5 games for the Jets this season. But to say that he's been underperforming since training camp, that's a bit of a shocker, right? I'm not going to defend Quincy and say he's been playing well. If that's what the coaches are seeing out of him, then obviously they're not impressed by what's going on. But then you couple that into the fact that they didn't trade him at the deadline. It's like, why would you not trade a player who you probably had an offer on the table for, even if it is a 5th-round pick that could be a conditional 4th, or a 6th that could be a conditional 5th even, if the very next day you're going to bench him? And you also traded away his younger brother yesterday. Not saying that that's reason alone to trade away Quincy, but if you're going to make all those moves yesterday and make the decision to not move Quincy just to bench him today, it's very questionable by this coaching staff. And I don't see Quincy as a building block for 2026 and beyond, right? They kind of showed their hand at the linebacker position when they paid Jamien Sherwood 3-year, $45 million deal in the offseason. So I'm very confused why they would bench Quincy and not trade him. So that's my first and foremost reaction. My next reaction is, who the hell is going to play linebacker for this team? Obviously, Jamien Sherwood is going to be out there. And Cam Jones, I believe, is banged up, one of their cut down waiver claims from the Kansas City Chiefs. So you're looking at guys like Jackson Sermon on the practice squad. I truthfully can't even come up with the name off the top of my head without looking at their depth chart of who's going to play linebacker next to Jamien Sherwood. So Michael Walker, maybe, a pickup from about 2.5, 3 weeks ago. So Michael Walker is going to be thrusted into a starting job. So we'll see who the guy next to Jamien Sherwood is at the linebacker position. But I assume they're also going to use Isaiah Oliver now more as a second level defender. They've been doing that quite a bit. They, instead of going 3 linebackers, they'll bring in Isaiah Oliver as that pseudo third linebacker. So perhaps they do that. But they're thin at safety as well. So with Andre Cisco going to season-ending IR, they signed Jordan Clark to the active roster, and then they brought up Jarius Monroe to the practice squad. So they have safety depth kind of coming into the fold, but you really got to get creative in the middle of your defense now. And if you're going to bench former All-Pro, obviously he hasn't been playing like that. And if, I don't know, I just can't get with the underperforming since training camp. If that's the case, you had such a sample size of time to trade him away. It's just, I'm very baffled by that decision by the coaching staff and the front office to not just take an offer on Quincy yesterday. I feel like San Francisco would have been an easy out, pair him back up with Robert Saleh. So very confused by this move. Not saying Quincy does or doesn't deserve to be benched. That's for the coaches to decide, but we'll see how quickly he can gain his job back. We'll see who is going to take his place in the meantime. And without being part of the future of this team, we'll see exactly what Quincy's future is with this team moving forward as he enters the last year of his deal. So very, very confusing set of circumstances here, but let me know in the comments below what you think about Quincy getting benched. Hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you're new. I'm DT signing out, and let's go Jets.